Hello, my name is Taylor Clark, and this is going to be my informative speech about the science of raising horses. So how many of y'all are afraid of these 2,000-pound big creatures? Probably most of you, if you've never been around them. But I can tell you right now that if these animals are raised correctly, if they've been trained, if they've been provided the correct nutrients, they will grow into animals that are very loving and that will protect you as well. So to begin, I will be going over 4 different aspects of raising a horse that I think are the most important. 1 being housing, 2 being nutrients, 3 being grooming, and 4 being training. So to begin, we're going to start with housing these animals. So for housing, to me, there are 2 big environments that these horses should have access to. 1 being a well-built stable. So this stable is very important for when the horses are young. They need somewhere to stay contained so they can't get hurt, and somewhere where they can be fed. A stable is also important for when storms come in, for rain, and just somewhere for the horses can take shelter when need be. So that's one thing. The other thing, which is probably even more important, would be a pasture for the horses to graze in. So a paddock, fields, anywhere with a lot of grass, a high yielding grass area. So, because what's crazy is that horses will actually, when they're eating grass, they will rip the root out. So that will kill the grass. So you need to actually have multiple paddocks that you can rotate these horses in and out of, so the grass has time to grow back, of course. So multiple paddocks is definitely a big thing. This is unlike cows, so where cows will just nip the top of the grass so the grass grows back actually pretty quick. So you don't really have to move cows around as much, but with horses you actually do, because they will pull the entire root out. So as far as housing goes, those are the 2 environments that are definitely the most important. All right, so moving on to nutrients, feeding the horses. So this is probably one of the most important things for these horses, because they are giant animals. They take a lot of intake. They will eat up to 20 pounds of grass per day and drink about 10 gallons of water per day as well. So a good mix of grass, of course. The horse needs to have grass, and also hay as well. Clean hay is a very big thing. Moldy hay can happen. The hay sits out a lot, and horses eating moldy hay will actually cause a lot of problems with them in their later life. Us personally, in my family, we have a horse with COPD, which is pretty funny, but we think it's caused from this horse eating moldy hay as it was growing up. And also, when the horse is younger, they will have to have different type of feed as well as they grow older. And also, other nutrient-filled products such as a salt block or treats or different stuff, or in apples, are also important as well, because it just provides different nutrients. Of course, horses love licking on salt blocks as well. So moving on to grooming the animal. Now, this is not entirely important, but it does play a big role in keeping these animals, of course, clean and feeling good. So, of course, brushing the animal is very important, getting the hair off the animal, keeping their mane straight, and also, even more importantly, is keeping their hooves clean. So right here is a farrier cleaning this horse's hoofs out, and right in the middle of the horse's hoof is the frog, which can be related to the cuticle in your finger. It's very tender. So you want to keep the dirt away from it, and you want to keep the frog in good shape, because it can hurt the horse in the long run. You won't be able to put shoes on the horse, and a lot of different things like that. So moving on to the last and final step of training horses with horses will be training. So to begin training, you just really want to get familiar with the horse. You want to touch the horse, pet the horse, do a lot of different things with the horse, just getting them used to you. You can start with lead work, leading the horse around, telling them to do different things, a lot of different stuff like that. Also circle work as well, getting the horse familiar with moving around, with listening to your voice, with learning what to do when you tell them different things, how you touch them, doing different stuff like that. So, and of course training will come later in the horse's life. It's usually about 2 years when the horse is fully mature, when you can start actually training to ride them and do a lot of different stuff like that. So to conclude, I've gone over 4 different main things when raising horses. 1 would be housing, of course. 2 would be the feeding the horse, the nutrients. 3 would be grooming the horse. And the 4th and final thing would be training. And if you combine all those 4 steps together, you will turn out with a great horse that you can ride and do a lot of different things with. So thank you so much.